Hey everybody, it's Sean at TVH Growing at Home. In the background we have Justin picking some dragon tongue bush beans. Today is just going to be a quick snippet of how our garden is growing in 2023. Here's just an up-close personal view of Justin picking the dragon tongue bush beans. And behind the bush beans we have our San Marzano tomatoes growing along the fence. And down below here, Justin, down below here, some kohlrabis. And we have a couple growing on each plant. Some small ones, some fairly large ones. Our cabbages are growing just fine. Started forming a head. Here's a good example of one of them right now. Good head of cabbage. More of the Roma tomatoes are coming to fruition. Some tomatillos. These are the green tomatillos. Some more tomatoes. Some very gnarly looking tomatoes. Our gigantic zucchini plant. This is what happens. This is what happens when you don't monitor your zucchinis. As you can see, that's one hell of a zucchini. This year we decided to try our hand at growing some South African gem squash, and as you can see, we have no problem getting them to grow here. We also have our grapevines starting very nicely here. This is the Niagara green grape. We have our asparagus going to seed so that we can produce a lot more in this garden bed, as well as a lush rhubarb plant. We have a couple more zucchinis growing here. As you can see, we've got yellow, golden yellow zucchini coming up. And over here, we have the 8-ball zucchini, very much similar to a gem squash. We have onions planted throughout here, as well as some carrots. In our acorn squash forest, you will find several acorn squash growing. Fairly large size too. I'd say that's a decent size acorn squash. There's quite a few in here. They're just hiding behind the leaves, staying safe. This one's fairly large too. That's good size. A couple more tomato plants, of course. In the next bed we have more squash. This has definitely become the year of the squash. We have what's called the festival squash, and as you can see, it is a much lighter in color variety. Beautiful, in fact. On this side of the garden, you will find our raspberry bushes. These are still young bushes, so they won't be producing much fruit this year. Along with our blueberries. These are new plants as well. I did see a couple on here earlier. Justin probably ate them. And then we have some green bean bushes down below. Oh, here's some blueberries. Still young. This is our yellow pear tomatoes. Once they come out to a vibrant yellow, they're quite sweet. In this bed we have our potatoes and Japanese yams, some carrots. We've got some white strawberries that are coming up. And in this bed here, we have a variety of eggplants here. So there's some of the long eggplants, and then there's some of the fatter eggplants. And then spaghetti squash growing. And then in this bed here, this is our big strawberries patch. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. There's a strawberry coming. It looks like it just needs another day or two. It'll be nice and red to eat. These are ever-bearing. And then we have our wild blackberry bushes. Over here you'll see some slicing tomatoes. Some of the tomatoes have gotten so heavy that they're pulling the plant down to the bottom of the bed. It's a fairly nice sized cluster. Looking forward to making some sandwiches. And we have some rutabagas growing at the bottom there too.